Hi there, this is Aaron. Today is Tuesday the 24th of March and it's day 7 on the allotment. I've come down during the week and I don't often do this. It's because I've got a couple of days holiday today and there's certainly plenty for me to be getting on with, and it's really nice to have the sunshine. The reason, of course, that I'm here sort of now is that I took some time over the weekend to go to the Edible Garden show. We were asked by Sean at the Horticultural channel, and there's been a few people that have asked me when am I going to put some footage up. I didn't actually take any footage of the show, but I have got some pictures of some people that I met, and let's take a look through the album. It was really great to see everybody. Adele was one of my first ever subscribers, and Tony is, of course, a well-known YouTuber, so is Patrick, as Chris, and it was wonderful meeting everybody from the Horticultural channel and to share a stand with Claire. It really was a special moment. We all said that even though we'd never met each other before, within 5 minutes it was like we knew each other for years and years and years, and couldn't imagine a time when we hadn't. So it was really nice, really nice. If you want to see a really good take on the show, tune into the Horticultural channel on Friday, because Sean is cutting together his Edible Garden show special, and that will be going up on Friday, so please don't miss that, because I think we're in it in places. Well, today there's lots to do. I also did a bit at home before I came up, so let's take a look around. So here we've got some peas that I've put them in the dice pattern, as you've seen other people do. Some of them are pushed down. I've got the rest that I need to push down, and water. So hopefully this is the first batch of Douce Provence peas this year. And here are the peas, all finished and all potted. I haven't covered these because I'm wondering if the problems that I've been having are actually exacerbated by humidity. I've actually taken the tops off of everything now. There's a few sorry onions here. I'm having my last throw with some seed onions, and we'll see what happens. Here are some marigolds, and you see that was a very low germination rate. A lot of people were saying, oh, your compost's too wet and you only water them every 2 to 3 days. Well, actually, I was only watering them once a week because I daren't leave it any longer than that, and that is what the soil looked like. It was partly misleading because you were watching it straight after I'd watered it. So the soil looked wet, but I mean, the idea was to drain it off. This is why I'm thinking that actually it was the humidity, and it's actually the hats that were part of the problem. I still think that there is an issue with this compost, because I shouldn't be experiencing as low germination rates as these with new seeds. But I'm going to see about, just leaving things off and letting the air get to it as well, so that ventilation could be the answer. Here are some more seedlings. These are my leeks, and they've had the cover removed. Now they're actually getting quite tall now, which is a good sign. These are my carnations. Now they're suddenly looking a bit flat. I've taken the hats off, as I have with all of them. I'm beginning to suspect that this became a bit of a cat bed, and that the cats decided that it was something to lay on, and I think that's why my poor carnations are suffering. These are my marigolds. I've got very few of these, although I do have one that really is ready to be potted on, and I'm quite impressed by him. It is my intention to get these in the ground. I don't want them in yet because the frost will get to them, but I want them in a state where they are ready to go in at the appropriate time. And I'm also hoping that I can show some in our local show this year. So I'll do some successive sowing of marigolds. I don't really know when they last until, but hopefully as long as I keep putting some in, I will have enough so that at least one of them makes it through. This is the box of seedlings that actually sort of made me think, oh, I wonder if it's humidity. And the reason being is that a lot of these are last year's seeds, and a lot of these are last year's brassicas seeds. But this is the one that I left the hat off. It's been watered in exactly the same way as the others, and if anything it's been watered a little bit more because the air was getting to it. But I did notice that the germination rate is pretty damn good. There's a couple of the seeds that look as if they might be too old, or that I need to redo, but all in all I've got a good load of brassicas there. So that's what made me think it could be a combination of the compost, which I do believe is rubbish, and humidity from the hats. So consequently I've taken the hats off everything. My regular viewers will know that me and carrots is a bit of a joke. I can't grow carrots. And this actually looks as if I've got some carrots germinated, except they don't look like carrots to me. And I'm wondering if my early enthusiasm at, oh my god, I can grow carrots, has been curtailed by the fact that the seeds were not actually carrots. That would be quite funny if it was. I think that they have ferny tops, whereas these look completely different. So anybody in the know, does that look like a carrot seedling to you? There were a couple of people that were asking for a chili update, and here it is. By the way, I'm really sorry, but YouTube is doing this new thing whereby it automatically plays a video after the one that you've watched. And I've lost so many comments recently, and I've missed sort of giving thumbs up because suddenly YouTube takes me to another video as I'm typing, and it's really annoying. Every now and again YouTube tries something to keep people watching, and it invariably means that they're trying to decide what people watch, and I don't want that. I'm quite happy of deciding what I want to watch and selecting it myself, so I really don't need their help. But consequently, I'm not commenting and I'm not giving thumbs up where I want to, because it takes me away. I mean, if I've got time, I go back and redo it, but that's not always the case. So you're probably not getting comments from me when you think you might, and that's the reason, so sorry about that. I'm also hopelessly behind in the videos. But back to the chilies. Lots of new growth. I mean, this is really filling the windowsill, and I'm actually quite excited about the chilies that we could potentially be getting this year. So these need to be transferred out into a greenhouse, and I need to get cracking on Greenhouse Mark 2. Finally, a look at the tomato plants. Certainly one of them is getting very, very big now and getting ready to be potted on. It looks as if I'm going to have 5 mature plants to take into a greenhouse, so looking forward to them. Well, you can see that there's plenty going on at home, and we've had the first day of spring now. The sun is really getting high in the sky now, so it's really lovely, and I can see that this back area of my plot gets sun, and I wasn't sure if it was going to, but certainly from the Spring Equinox onwards, everything gets a bit of sun. But there's a few things happening here as well, so let's take a look at those. I said at the end of my last video that this rhubarb was really coming on. It is. I thought possibly it might even be ready for this weekend, but I don't think it is. It's got a little way to go, but there is still plenty of rhubarb there, and it's really not going to be very long at all. I know that Dan said that it must be the air and everything's warm here. Well, I mean, we still do get quite nippy frosts at night, It was -5 last night, but it is heating up during the day. So I don't think there's too much of a difference. I think it's just a really early variety. You can see all along here there's little green buds, little green leaves coming. It's all coming back into life, which is lovely. Not quite so with these at the back. Maybe they need a little bit longer. Maybe they won't come back. I've really just left everything as it is here. I haven't touched anything because I want to see what happens. Um, Maybe, hopefully, we're going to get some lovely fruit coming through. But if not, I'll just pull it all up. We'll just have to see what happens next. The other end of the plot now, and I think this is another variety of rhubarb, but as you can see, this has barely started. And Dan, you're saying that, my rhubarb is coming up. I think it's just I've got two varieties, one really early and one really late, and this is the late one. As I hope you can see here, we're really working this ground and we're starting to actually get quite a fine tilth on this. This is going to be where my beans will go, and just in front, that's going to be where my peas will be going very, very soon. Beans I'm planning on putting out in sort of mid-May, end of May time. Now, this has actually slowed me down a little bit here. I've been digging through it, but whoever was here before me, they've left their potatoes in. I've pulled out about 3 kilos of potatoes so far, and that slowed me down a bit. But it is worthwhile doing. I'm really, really pleased with the way that the ground is here. I mean, it's crumbling like cocoa powder on top. It just needs me to go to work and pull everything out. But yes, the beds are shaping up, and that makes me happy. Now, this area here I've left alone. I thought this was comfrey, and I wanted to leave it alone because I really want to get into making my own fertilizers this year, and comfrey is really good as a fertilizer on the plants. And I initially thought that this was comfrey coming through. I've left it, as I say, completely alone. I wanted to see if it comes back, but I thought it should be now that comfrey's making an appearance. I guess it could be comfrey here, and that's it when it's died back. Um, I'm not sure what to do. I know that it's virtually impossible to kill comfrey because the roots go on forever. But if I've accidentally done that, then that would be a bit of a shame. Hopefully I can see what happens soon. Just in front of my rhubarb here, this has just come through. I haven't planted it, but I think it's spring onions, which would be rather nice. So I'm just going to leave this as it is and see what happens. But maybe we've got some spring onions to pick in the not too distant future. One of the things that you can see all along here, this is where I planted my garlic, and can you see it's coming through? It's poking through, and it looks like we're going to have some garlic here. Not everything's come through. There's a few that haven't, and either haven't yet, or perhaps they won't. I was hoping that I was going to be able to take the garlic from the modules and fill the gaps here, but of course none of that came through. I got a comment from Ian saying, "Well, what did you do? Did you poke it all the way down?" No, no, no. I just left it with the very, very tip sticking out. I didn't overwater it. I didn't underwater it. I kept it in sort of cool but not freezing conditions. I just think it was that compost, mate, and it was absolute rubbish. But something has come through, and it looks that all the efforts are not wasted, and we will have some garlic this year. What we have here are some onion sets. Now, these are Stuttgarter giant onions, which I've picked up from the Edible Garden Show, and I think they're the same ones that Blue Star Dave plants. As everyone has seen, we've had a bit of a disaster with the onion seeds this year, with the compost. Now, I have had one last throw of the dice with the seeds, and maybe we'll get 1 or 2 seed onions put in, but I didn't want it to be a season where I had no onions whatsoever. So I've just put 3 rows of the Stuttgarter giant in. I've covered them with this cloche. This is actually part of my Christmas present from my wife's mum and dad, so thank you very much to them. I'm hoping that what it's going to do is keep the birds off, and so that then we can take some onions through. And so that really does bring us to the end of the day. I've got some digging done, I've got some riddling done, I've got the beds that are starting to look as if they're ready, so all that makes me really happy. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time on The Allotment. Goodbye.